Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Lucia. So as you could see by the title, today I'm going to make a vest. I think they have been very popular and I have been wanting one myself, but I didn't see any specific one in the shop that I would like to buy. And you know, if I can make something by myself, I will always choose this option. So I was browsing through all my patterns that I have at home, all the pattern magazines that I have bought or I have been given by my aunt, and it was not so difficult actually to find some patterns for the gilet or vest, but most of them are so complicated and I just wanted to make something easy, something that doesn't give me a lot of headache and something that is also easy for you to follow, because I'm sure there are many of you who also want to make one. I mean, if you are watching this video, I guess so. So I found the pattern and I simplify it to the maximum, so don't worry, this is going to be so easy today. I found the pattern in this old Burda magazine from 1993. There is a lot of gems in this magazine and probably it's not the last time I'm sewing something out of this magazine, to be honest. As for the materials, it's a little bit unusual for me because I'm going to do some kind of upcycle. I found this old men's shirt in a thrift store and I really like the pattern, and it's just too huge for me to wear it. It's just ginormous, you know, like it's huge, which is good if you do upcycling and you need a lot of material, so this is good for me. And for the lining, I'm just going to use a basic lining fabric. Oh yeah, but first I have to seam rip this bad boy. So these are the front pattern pieces. This will go like that. So both of them are cutted twice, of course, and I also went ahead and ironed on fusible interfacing just to make this fabric more sturdy. So this is the front, and then back pieces. This one is cutted on fold, and then we have something that will go here on the side, and of course I cut it twice. As for the lining, it's exactly the same, just I cut it from this lining fabric and I ironed on the fusible interfacing, but just here on the front where the buttons and the buttonholes will be. So as a first thing, we have to sew these pieces together like so, and here on the side, so that it will form one back piece. And of course we have to do the same with the front. So the first one will be this front piece. So now, because this is very curvy, I need to do some cuts with the scissors.
So please just hear me out. I know I've done you wrong. I know that I've missed.
So I have the back piece here. This is how it looks like, and now I need to iron it so it will be looking really nice and professional, and I have to do the same thing with the front. Okay guys, so far this is how it looks like. So we have two front pieces like this. This was a little bit tricky to sew just because it's so much curvy, but with a little bit of patience you can manage. And this is our back piece. So now we need to sew these two shoulder seams over here with a straight stitch. And the next step is iron these seams open. Okay guys, so at this point, this is how it looks like. Let me show you. So as you can see, it's starting to look like a vest, but the side seams are not sewn and we do not want to sew them, okay? The same thing for the lining part. So as you can see, it looks the same. The side seams are open. And now what we have to do is to lay them on the top of each other, right sides facing, as usually. And let me show it to you better closely so you can really see what I'm going to do, because this is the main focus. So far this was easy. I mean, this will be easy also, but this was nothing important, you know, you just follow your pattern. But now the technique is important because you will see how simple it can be to sew a vest. Okay, so let's do it. So you will open your vest something like this. You will lay it flat on the table. You will take your lining and do exactly the same thing by placing it on the top of each other. As I said, right sides facing. First, you will make sure that your shoulder seams are matching. Make sure that these are matching, and then continue pinning all the way around. So now this is all pinned. And what I could do is actually go ahead and sew everywhere except the side seams. But what I prefer to do is first to sew the collar. So now this is how it looks like when it's all pinned. And what I'm going to do now is to stitch this seam over here and then under stitch the seam allowance so that the lining is not coming out and it's nicely hidden, and then we will continue further. So I will push the seam allowance to this side and sew it on the side of the lining as close as possible. So as a next step will be to sew the armholes and down on the front and on the back.
So please just hear me out. I know I've done you wrong.
And now what I have to do is to go ahead and clip the armholes and of course all these corners, so once we turn it right side out it will look very nice. So now that everything is clipped, I will go ahead, so as you can see this is the back, I will go ahead and put my hand through the side seam which is not sewn, and I will go all the way until I reach the front, and then I will start to pull it inside. I'm going through the shoulder seam, now the other side. Now you need to push all the corners and make them nice and sharp. So guys, we are almost there. We are almost there. Now, I know many of you don't like this and out of pure laziness, skip this. Okay, sorry, maybe not. Maybe you just don't know that it's so important. But I just know many people who start to sew, skip ironing all the time. And this is the moment where you don't skip it. So guys, this is how it looks like. So far, it looks almost like a finished garment. But now, very crucial, again, I repeat, do not skip ironing. So now, let's go ahead to my ironing board and iron it super nice. This is how it looks like so far. Look at the edges, look at the precision. And if you think that I'm professional, thank you for the compliment, but you are very wrong. How come it looks like this when I am beginner? Well, if you think it's a rich craft, no, it's called ironing, guys. Okay, let's stop rambling and let's continue. It's time for the side seams. As you can see, I put my label over here. This, you can skip this step. It's it's optional, I want to have a label there. So you will go ahead, the seams that are meeting here under your armpit, this is where you have to go and kind of open it like that. Also go inside and open up the seam, both of them, and place them on top of each other carefully, that they match up perfectly. Because I cannot pin it all the way like this, place my hand in the side seam that is open and just gently pull it out from here. You will be quickly able to see that it's forming like circle. So pin all the circle and sew it with a straight stitch. Are you ready for magic, guys? I will just pull it back out. Ta-da! The side seam is closed with no visible stitch. There is nice label, handmade, and it all looks so beautiful. The best part, it was not even hard to do. Same thing on the other side, but the difference is that, of course, on the other side, I will not be able to stitch it all the way. So there will be little stitch visible, but it's just on the lining, so let's go ahead and do it. So again, the other side, we have these two corners under your armpit. We will match them, and one important thing to say here, don't forget to leave the gap on the lining part so that the visible seams will be from inside. Don't leave the gap on this part, okay? So now I'm starting to sew on the lining part, and I will come back to the lining part, as I said. And I know what you're thinking now. You are thinking, this is weird, this cannot be right. But most probably it's right. So let's just trust the process and let's do it. Ta-da! So we need to just hand stitch or with the machine, it's up to you. Almost done. Just the one easy thing to do. Sewing the buttonholes. And you know me, guys. You know me. This is a suffering for me. But I don't have any other choice.
To see from the moment we arrived. Cornelia, you are one who will survive. When time's been bad, you put smiles on everyone. Of you and of all I should have done. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, the place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin. And all you have burns to the sky. It's all too late. You wonder why.